I'm going to read to you my article in Asian Avenue Magazine's 20th anniversary, in which I was featured for Chinese face reading and space clearing. So, spaces are not neutral. They hold a residue from the good and the bad. And if you're wanting to start something new and you don't clear the old energy or just redecorating, you're just moving things on a level that is the old energy. And this is why things don't come easily to you. And if you're in your home, if there's been traumatic things, or if you're starting a new home, the energy that's there maybe not yours and maybe affecting you. And so here we go. You have felt it before, even if you never had words for it. You walk into a room after an argument and something still lingers, a heaviness, a tension that didn't leave when the voices quieted. Or you moved into a new home, and despite fresh paint and new furniture, it never quite feels like yours. Or you return to your office and find yourself inexplicably drained by noon every day. You are not imagining it. Spaces hold energy, and Tui Dom, pronounced Tui, has spent her life learning how to clear it. The physical environment and the energy inside it are not separate things, she says. When the space shifts, something inside you shifts with it. I've known this since I was 8 years old. Tui grew up in a Vietnamese household where energy was never just a concept, it was practical. Her mother, who escaped Vietnam in 1983 and built 3 nail salons in Springfield, Missouri from nothing, and her own way of working with space. When business was slow at their Vietnamese restaurant, she would clean the Buddha statue with alcohol, honoring resetting the room, calling in what was needed, not superstition, relationship. A living understanding that intention changes a space. A shift in energy is always followed by a shift in reality. Tui was 8 years old when she started rearranging furniture in their home whenever something felt stuck. She would sit with her back against the sofa and push with her legs until it moved. Her mother would come home and ask who had done it. I did, she would say, all 3 feet and 50 pounds of her. I didn't have a name for what I was doing. I just knew that when the space shifted, something inside me shifted. It had to move. Space clearing is one of the oldest practices across Asia and indigenous cultures worldwide. In Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, and many other traditions, the energetic cleansing of a home, business, or land is not unusual. It is simply good housekeeping for what the eye cannot see. Every space accumulates residue, the energy of conflict, of grief, of stress, of transitions, a home where a difficult divorce happened, an office that carried a painful layoff, a new apartment that belonged to someone whose story you don't know. These imprints don't disappear on their own, they wait. A space clearing with Tui releases that residue intentionally, using sound, breath, sacred tools, and ceremony to reset the energy of a space so it can generally hold what you want to build next. It is not a cleansing, it is completion. Many of us grew up in homes when we were taught to keep going and push through, to achieve in spite of difficulty, not by tending to it. Our grandmothers and mothers were masters of endurance, and we honor them by carrying that strength. But endurance without release accumulates in our bodies, in our relationships, and in our spaces. If you have moved through a hard season, a career pivot, a loss, a health condition, a health challenge, a family rupture, your space may still be holding the weight of it, even when you feel ready to move on. A clearing gives the space permission to move on too. Tui works with homes, businesses, and corporate offices. She has seen what happens when the energy of space finally releases. Teams breathe differently. Families argue less. Individuals sleep better. The thing that felt inexplicably stuck begins quietly to move. You can redecorate 100 times, but until you clear what the space is holding, you are just rearranging on top of old energy. The clearing is what makes the fresh start real. And I want to preface this that a space clearing doesn't mean that everything is going to be hunky-dory afterwards. It clears the space. So sometimes bad things happen first to make room to clear it for the new. So it also makes you better at life. Yes, it makes you better at life where you're going to be more clear. Solutions come easier to you. I've known this now, that whenever I do things on the normal way, it takes so much longer. But if I start energetically, things shift and flow in much faster. My answers, my people, my community, my resources, my systems. That's the work that makes things work. So I'm Twee, your muse, to help you find your muse, laughing all the way. I serve soulpreneurs to flow prosperity, spaciousness, and harmony with space clearing, face reading, rituals of stillness, and teeth whitening. This is the work that makes things work. I know how it feels to not trust in myself and the process. You can book your face reading, your space clearing at soyouboutique.net. soyouboutique.net. I look forward to helping you attract your authentic life.